How long it took me to get my damn OBS working, for motherfucking sake. OBS was wildin'. Sheesh. Motherfucker. God damn. Sheesh. OBS was wildin'. What do we even have here before I say good morning, huh? Still trying to see this low right here. This is officially that's Wednesday's low. So I'm just gonna mark that as Wednesday's low and figure it out from there, because it's great that we got this and it's great that we got this. So I would love to see a stupid run of that. And let me just see what the news is looking like before I say good morning. Jolts was today. Got some ISMs tomorrow and a bunch of stuff at 8:30. That's essentially the story. Good afternoon. It is September 3rd, 2025, and it's a Wednesday, and we are in the 8 p.m. hour, and settlement is... Did all that in 6458. We are looking okay, the Monday close isn't that terrible. The Tuesday open buy, as we should call it. But really we should be calling it this Wednesday close buy, because you can't really make a decision off of this price action. So this is also a valid thing, and this is also a valid thing. The main thing we want to look out for is this low here, to see if we want to take that to then reach all-time highs, or we want to take this and lower to keep reaching all-time highs. It really depends on what they really want to do. We just don't know as of now, but those are the support levels that we want to look at to see if that's something we want to do. Now, there is something about the intraday price action that I do want to talk about, and I'm just going to draw it. This is 12 o'clock, right? And then this is the 12:15 macro, right? See what they do at this macro here? First, at the macro start, they swipe up and get just as low as this to then go higher. Now, because in the chat, what we were looking at is to see if a certain day's open would be a form of support. This was the open. I think we had talked about this in previous reports, and somewhere around here was also the 20-day, but I've deleted it because it's not relevant to me anymore since it's already been tagged. What I noticed is this is the macro, right? This is New York, right? Somewhere around here is New York, right? This is New York. We start New York by ripping the lower day one more time, right? And then going up. That's a decent scalp if you're looking bearish, if you're looking bullish, like we are. You get stopped out here, and say you wanted to take this soup lower from this lower day. This is the order block and fair value gap you want to be looking at, right? To see if it gets inverted. At 12 o'clock, they do this. They print a buy candle. Remember, added volume on an up move. That's a signal candle, essentially. Take a limit here. You don't go here. Unfortunately, you don't get that, so you would have been a little greedy doing that. And right at 12:15, they take it. They leave behind this block to rebalance, and that's your buy. perfect buy for whatever this bull run should be, whether you get stopped out or whether it's a really good cash hold. Maybe I've talked about this before, I don't know, but remember, the algorithm runs on 30 minutes, essentially. That's what it runs on. It runs on 30 minutes. Someone's pushing a button at 12 o'clock or 12:30 o'clock or 12:30 or 1:40 or 1 o'clock and then 1:30, obviously. That's how it runs. And we're always cleared between the 15 and the 45. This is what the 45 looks like. They fully inverted this fair value gap after this has been taken. What did they do? Barely hit that block. This is the buy candle before. You could take this, put your stop loss there, and there's your perfect trade on futures. Something to really look out for in your studies. And it seems like they did the same exact thing today, except at 3 o'clock. So, here's 3 o'clock. This is when it starts. Makes this really big order block here, right? What's the midpoint of that? Just to be curious. 70. Here's the midpoint of that. 70. Perfection, right? 315. That's a good blind. Right at 315 is a good blind. See that? It takes... Does it print a signal candle? Yes, it does. Prints a signal candle, and I'm AFK for all of this. It prints a signal candle, takes it once, and never comes back to it again. Something to think about in how you're drawing and tape reading. You know, I never really want to try and tell you what to trade. In the chat, I said, let's see if we want to invert this because this was a good cash position. Even on a futures contract, you don't hit 80 ticks, so it's still a valid trade, and then you get your 80 once settlement hits. So it's really something to think about. Now, in terms of what's going to happen next, we don't have added volume on the actual contract. No added volume on the continuous. No added volume on the Owanda. No added volume on the actual index. And no added volume on SPY. So right now, what we want to see as a bull is this 6478 and 3/4 level inverted. That's essentially what we want to see. That's essentially what we want to see at this point. See if we're going to get these all-time highs because, you know, everyone's like, oh my God, September is not going to be a great month. We will see it. I'll see it when the price prints it. I will see. Right now, all I'm doing is just, as theoretically, just buying as low as humanly possible, looking out for good resistance points. Maybe we more than likely talked about this level as something that you would want to buy at. And 20-day discount was definitely around there. 20-day discount is, as of now, is technically here. 6418 and a quarter. So what we really want to see at this point is Wednesday's low taken to see if we could keep going higher, or we want to see this inverted. Either one of those two. Those are the two main objectives that we want to see on ES. And it's more than likely the same story on NQ. For NQ, we got that already, and what we really want to see is the week's high inverted to then get all-time highs. If we reject this high here on NQ, 23,552.5, that would be something to be caused to be bearish. So that's something to look out for. I'm even going to look out for it as myself. I don't trade NQ, but it is something that I do want to look out for moving forward into the week. This is a week high, essentially. So we want to see what they do at that high on NQ. I never looked at Bitcoin, so everything here is a shoot. We're looking at 112, and right now we are inverting this fair value gap that we've been looking at. That's bouncing off of the July open. July open is not tagged. So I guess what we really want to see is this inverted. If this rejects, it's going to keep going lower. And I don't look at stocks during the week. So that's really the story for today. And for the week, I know I had to miss yesterday's report. I just had to. I was just absolutely cooked. Physically and mentally, so I just had to stay out of it. But yeah, what we want to see is Wednesday's low taken to then go higher, but if this rejects, then it's something that we want to look out for some more buying opportunities, either here or at this weekly fair value gap. Something seems like they want to take this weekly fair value gap just for the month of September, so that way we start here in October to then keep going higher. We just don't know. We just have to trade what we see and just not force anything. So yeah, that's pretty much the story right now. It was very fun watching to see if we would take this. The trade that I took was sloppy. I think I bought pretty early here. I think I was trying to get in early here. These were like multiple scale outs that I just said no to. I sold here, but then I essentially took a limit order here and held it through all of this because it didn't stop me out. And I wanted to see us hit settlement at least, and you can see that I took out a settlement. I wanted to see if we would get past the day's low, which is now Wednesday's low, which is something we're going to be looking out for the rest of the week. And the week high is all the way up there. So, so this is the week high all the way up here. We just really have to see what they want to do here at this level, this week level. If they want to get up here again, like all this here, and sell off. So essentially, all eyes on Wednesday's open, not Wednesday's weekly open, and look out for Wednesday's low for something else as well. And yeah, with SPY, not really else how to call it on SPY. Not really sure how else to call it on SPY other than this low here. We're technically above the week open on SPY, but we just got to see if they want to get past this week open as well, which is something that they went to after Labor Day was finished. So we'll see. All right. You have a blessed day.